Hello everyone. Welcome again to Kahani Suno with Kabir and Sarah. I am your host Kabir again. Before I start, I'd like to thank Sarah for the kind and generous words in her last episode. Her last episode was the first of her 9-episode series named The 9 Lives. If you haven't listened it yet, please do. It is a great start to a series. It has all the elements: love, compassion, fantasy, and much more. With this new episode, Sarah has proved again she's not only a great writer but a great storyteller too. So don't forget to listen to Sarah's latest, The 9 Lives, episode 1. Sarah, बहुत shukriya. I hope it would be as big a hit as The Purush. It is a super hit horror story by Sarah. If you haven't listened to that, doston, I think it's time. If you are a horror fan, Purush, you should definitely listen to. Thank you, Sarah, once again. And now let's move on to my story today. And this time, I am bringing you a new story, a psychological thriller, The Correction Need of the Hour, episode 1. It is a story of a young man named Vinod, 27 years old, software engineer, new city, decent job, a girlfriend back home who loves him more than he probably deserves at this point in his life. A man who is not evil, not cruel, not the villain of anyone's story, just a little careless, a little dishonest, a little too comfortable with the small lies that most of us tell ourselves every day and call survival. But something is watching Vinod, and we'll hear more about that something in the story. तो सुनिए दोस्तों, ध्यान से सुनिए, because this story will make you laugh. It will unsettle you, and when it is over, I promise you'll sit very quietly for a moment and think about the last lie you told and wonder if something noticed. ये है The Correction, Need of the Hour. Vinod Kumar was 27 years old when the story begins. 27, that age that feels simultaneously too young and already running out of time. He had just landed a job at a mid-sized MNC in Hyderabad. Software engineer, the kind of role that sounds impressive at family gathering but involves, on most days, staring at a screen until your eyes feel like sandpaper. He had moved cities for his job, shifted away from his hometown, away from his family, away from the girl he was in love with. A girl named Reena, who still lived back home and called him every evening at 7 without fail, rain or shine. Hyderabad was new. The apartment was small, but his own. The office was decent. The salary was good, not great, but enough for a 27-year-old with no dependents to live comfortably, save a little, and still have money left over for the weekends. And Vinod loved his weekends. Friday evening, the moment the clock hit 6, Vinod was already mentally out of the office. He would text his group of friends, the usual crew he'd assembled in Hyderabad, people from other companies, a few colleagues, some neighbors from the apartment complex, and the plan was always some variation of the same thing. Drinks somewhere, a rooftop bar, a lounge, a friend's flat, somewhere with music and laughter and the kind of conversations that feel profound at midnight and embarrassing in the morning. Saturday was a recovery day that turned into another party night, and Sundays were wild cards. Now, here is the thing about Vinod's drinking. He wasn't an alcoholic. I want to make that clear. He wasn't reaching for the bottle at 7 in the morning or hiding flasks in his desk. But when he did drink, when the weekend arrived and the music started and someone pushed a glass into his hand, Vinod had a talent for losing track. He would go from 2 drinks to 6 without quite noticing the transition. And then Monday morning would arrive like an unwanted guest, loud and brutal. And Vinod would look at his alarm and think, absolutely not. His manager, a man named John, a no nonsense, efficiency first kind of person, had noticed. There had been one quiet conversation, a gentle warning, the kind of warning that corporate people deliver with a thin smile that doesn't reach their eyes. Vinod had nodded, said it wouldn't happen again, and mostly kept that promise. Mostly. It was a particular weekend, a close friend's birthday on Sunday night, that everything changed. The birthday dinners in Hyderabad don't start before 9, they don't end before 2. That's just the law of the land. But this weekend was already loaded. Vinod had started on Friday evening, then Saturday, another party, different crowd, same spirit. By the time Sunday night rolled around, he was already running on less sleep than he should have been. But it was his close friend's birthday. You don't skip close friends' birthdays. That's another law of the land. The birthday dinner was wonderful, the kind of night where everyone is at their best. Old stories, cake that someone sat on accidentally, and the kind of warmth that makes you feel rich, even if your account balance is terrifying. Vinod got home at 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. on Monday morning. He set an alarm. The alarm went off at 8:30. Vinod looked at it. He felt the room tilt slightly when he turned his head. His mouth was dry. His brain was wrapped in cotton wool. He thought about the metro to office, the bright lights of the workstations, John's crisp morning energy. He turned the alarm off. I will message HR, he told himself. I'll let somebody know. He fell back asleep. He did not message HR, he did not call anyone, he simply disappeared for a full day. He woke up in the late afternoon, the kind of awakening that is disorienting. You don't know if it's the same day or the next, if the sun setting is a sunrise or a farewell. He ordered food, he watched something on his phone, Reels, YouTube, the usual digital comfort food. He felt bad about missing office but told himself he'd smooth it over tomorrow. He woke up Tuesday morning feeling human again, showered, made tea, put on his clothes, the blue shirt, dark trousers, took the metro to office. Everything felt normal until it didn't. The security guard at the entrance gave him a look, not the usual half-asleep nod. This was something different, a look that lingered, a look with weight in it. Vinod told himself he was imagining things. He scanned his card, walked to his desk, put his bag down, opened his bottle of water. Vinod? It was Vamshi, his colleague, a friend, really the kind of office friendship that forms quickly when you're both new to a city. He was staring at him. His expression was not the expression of someone seeing a friend returning after a day's absence. It was the expression of someone seeing a ghost. Vamshi yaar, he said, pulling out his chair. I know, I should have informed someone. I wasn't feeling well. I'll talk to John today. He didn't move. Vinod, he said again, more careful this time. Why are you here? He blinked. What? You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing? What do you mean I'm not supposed to be here? I work here. I was sick yesterday, that's all. I'm not talking about yesterday. Something in his voice made him go still. A coldness crept up the back of his neck, and that has nothing to do with the office air conditioning. Do you remember what you did yesterday? He asked. Do you remember how you behaved with John, with HR? I was at home yesterday all day. I didn't come to office. He looked at him for a long moment and then he said the words that would split his life into before and after. Vinod, you were fired yesterday. Silence. The kind of silence that has texture. The kind you can feel pressing against your eardrums. Vinod laughed. He actually laughed. That reflexive, misbehaving laugh that your body produces when your mind refuses to process information. But Vamshi wasn't laughing. You came in yesterday, he said, slowly. In the afternoon, you weren't in a good state, Vinod. You went straight to John's cabin. There was shouting. Everyone could hear it. And then you came out and you were aggressive with John, with the HR manager. It got physical, Vinod. When you wouldn't, security had to physically remove you. John terminated your employment on the spot. That is not possible, he said very quietly. I was at home. I have my YouTube history. I ordered food. I have the receipt on the phone. Before he could respond, the cabin door opened and John walked out. John was not a man who lost his composure easily, but the man who looked at Vinod now was not controlled. He was furious. Get out! The words landed like a physical blow. Every head in the office turned. Vinod tried. He kept trying. Even as the security guard arrived, even as he was guided firmly, with no room for argument, toward the exit, he was saying the same thing over and over. I was at home. I was at home. This is wrong. Something is wrong. As they pushed him through the doors, he called back to Vamshi. His voice cracking now. Vamshi, please get me the CCTV footage from yesterday, and I will have the apartment building CCTV footage. Please. Vinod stood on the street outside his former office. The midday sun was indifferent and bright. He stood there for a very long time. That evening, Vamshi showed up at Vinod's apartment at 7 p.m. with a pen drive. CCTV footage from the office. I shouldn't have this. Please don't ask me how he got it. He sat with him as he plugged it into his laptop. The footage was from a camera near the office entrance. He fast-forwarded through the morning, and then at approximately 1:45 in the afternoon on Monday, a figure walked in through front entrance. Vinod pressed play at normal speed. The figure was wearing a blue shirt, dark trousers. Vinod looked down at what he was currently wearing. Blue shirt, dark trousers. On screen, the figure knocked on John's cabin door and went inside. The body language was readable. The conversation escalated quickly. Gestures became sharp. John stood up, and then the figure was walking back out, and John was following, and then Vinod pressed pause. The figure's face had turned toward the camera for just a moment. It was his face. So, दोस्तों, we stop here for today. I know. You want to keep going. You want to know what Vinod does next. What shape he sees in the chaos. What he decides. What happens when a frightened, confused, cornered young man stops asking what is happening to me and starts asking why. But that is for the next time, because this is the moment in Vinod's story that I want you to sit with tonight. Not the CCTV footage, not the shock of the office. This moment, the moment a man who has been knocked down, embarrassed, fired, and utterly bewildered. तो ये था पहला हिस्सा, episode 1 of The Correction Need of the Hour, only on Kahani Suno with Kabir and Sara. Episode 2 आएगा जल्द ही, very soon, and I promise you, Vinod is about to do something that will make you gasp and make you deeply uncomfortable all at the same time. तब तक मैं हूं कबीर, शुक्रिया, गुड नाइट.